leather gloves, we're slapping in hands. Popcorn and peanuts, we're working the stands. Pink cotton candy, love on a stick. Who's chasing the beer? The circle the lips, play ball. Play ball. Roll up the bases and smack it right over the wall.
Play ball.
Play ball.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Laughter Saves Lives
Live.
here on Strong Island Television in Paradise Studios in beautiful downtown Massapequa.
And today's show is brought to us by Barasch and McGarry, lawyers for the 9/11 community. Look at that.
That was the quickest you ever got to that.
I'm a pro.
We have to get better. We have to get better with the sponsors because I got a few phone calls.
Patrick tuning in. Hello,
Hey,
Patrick.
Patrick, it's Johnny Plucked. I got a few phone calls from the sponsors.
Yeah.
They want us to step up our game.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, if you notice something tonight, even though Roseanne is not on co-hosting, did somebody shave tonight for you?
You did.
I shaved just for you. Hey, Baxter.
I didn't even notice you were so handsome.
Because
before.
I was like, Richie's going to make a comment because I shaved for Roseanne. So bada bing,
Look
Johnny
at that.
shaved. So it's nice. Happy New Year. This is
Happy
our
New Year.
first show of the new year.
Look at that.
And let's make
And
it.
I made it.
And you know what?
You know,
Guess what?
it's so good for you that January is open for me.
Yes, I'm very happy. Do you know that we have on some awesome guests tonight?
Yes, we do.
I don't think you ever heard me say this at the beginning of the show.
No.
It's such an interesting show. We have on a hero. Oh, we have on a hero from
A hero and a star.
Yeah, Lou Pimber. We have on. He's a former U.S. soldier, combat medic, and so much more. Then we have a local hero. She does some great work with animals. Karen Lynn Stracker.
Karen Lynn
Stracker.
Right.
All right. She does rescue and rehab.
Wild animal rescue.
Is it? Would you say wild?
Yeah.
Wild.
They're not wild, but they're considered to be wildlife.
Yes.
Yes.
And I have it. Yeah, but I have a huge surprise for you guys.
Yes.
After Karen Lynn, we actually have Coldplay 2.
Yes.
Tonight.
Tonight. They
Oh,
are.
wow.
They are, as you know, they're touring the world, and they took the time out. They took the time out to come and see us.
I wanted to. Maybe John and I could open for them.
They probably have like a special satellite feed. We only have a certain window. Is that the way it works, right?
Yep. 8:42. We have to go to them, or right after.
And I heard a very, very high energy interview. So we're looking forward to it.
Thanks, Butch. Fun with Coldplay 2.
Coldplay 2. Stay tuned. So if you remember how I closed the year, I don't think you were here.
What? I was here the last show.
Okay. Do you remember I took my dad who had major surgery in his mouth to get a 7-Eleven hot dog? We discussed
Yes.
it. And they didn't have the spicy mustard. They only had the yellow mustard.
Right. French's.
That's crazy. That's crazy, right? The hot dogs in 7-Eleven, the rolls, you could save it with the spicy mustard.
And yet they don't.
So I placed the call to the national headquarters of 7-Eleven in Texas.
Now we're cooking.
Yep.
Yes. And what they say?
And I left a message and I explained to them we would love to have them as a sponsor, but we won't do anything with them until they have spicy mustard in all Long Island stores.
Yes.
Because it's necessary. You can't just have yellow mustard.
No. I'm going to tell you a funny story about
I would love to hear something funny from you.
Years and years ago, there's a sister company came to Long Island in Merrick over there by Eisenhower Park. Mm-hmm. And it was called Dalt's. And
sister company to who?
Fridays. I'm sorry.
Okay.
And they were right next door.
Okay.
And they were getting ready to open.
Right.
And I was a kid and just out of high school. And I went there, applied for a job, and they hired me.
Okay.
And I noticed the menu came out. They put mustard on their hamburgers.
See, we don't do that in this part of the country.
So I went to management.
Right.
And I said, you have one little mistake. You put mustard, spicy brown mustard, on the hamburgers. New Yorkers don't like it.
No.
And he goes, well, if they don't like it, he goes, we know how to run our business. They're up from Florida, never been in New York. He goes, if they don't like it, he goes, they'll just tell us to make
Right.
another burger without mustard. I
Right.
go, but how much waste is that? I'm telling him this.
Yeah.
And he goes, I think we know how to run our
Young
business.
man.
I walked out of there. I said, they're out of business in 6 months because once a New Yorker bites that and goes, ooh,
Yeah.
there's no.
How long? How long were they open?
I don't even know if they made it to 6 months. There you go.
Rich
Do I
walk-up
know?
business.
And it's a mustard story.
That story could have been shorter. So Subaru, we all have it could have got to the point. If there's no yucks in the story, it's got to be quicker.
Yes, it was. Was
there
more
a yuck?
educational.
It was an educational.
Yes.
Well, basically, spicy mustard needs to be available in all Long Island 7-Elevens. And I'm not done. I'm not done with the phone calls and the follow-up.
But John, you keep saying spicy mustard. There's only one kind of spicy mustard.
That is not true now. Now that's not true.
But it is. It's Goulden's. That's it.
Well, Goulden's is what we would like, but if they had another spicy mustard, I would go for it.
But if you go into a Jewish deli, it's not Goulden's. No, it's another spicy mustard.
Boar's Head has a nice spicy mustard with horseradish.
No, it's Goulden's.
All right, thank you. Again, get to the point if it's not funny a little quicker.
Yeah.
Thank you, Butch. So, Subaru, we both have. Would you like to ride in my? You ever hear that song?
It. No.
Subaru, I wrote it. Subaru. We all have Subarus.
Yes.
I went in for the service. Now, I don't want this to be a complaint.
How many miles you have?
The 15,000. They nailed me for that. I understand that I really didn't have to do it there. But here's what happened. What they got me
300 for an oil change.
Oh, I wish. No, I got a free oil change. You get a free oil change when they charge it, $900
What'd
for
you
the other
get?
stuff.
Brakes, tires.
Listen.
Never go back to the dealer after.
Even on a lease?
No.
What if something goes wrong and you're under contract? Anyway, all right, we'll talk more about that.
I
later.
went to Subaru recently. I was waiting. By the way, everybody should know this. I'm going to give a big tip.
Yes.
November.
Oh, this is the tire
all
thing?
Goodyear tires at Walmart are half off. I paid $444.
Every time I'm with Richie and there's a new person in the group, I have to hear this.
Did you know that?
No, you can't talk off camera. You can't talk to Carolyn when nobody knows she's there.
Okay, so
Carolyn
I paid $444.
That's great.
For all Goodyear Reliant tires.
Beautiful.
But when I went to the dealer a month before, I was quoted $800 and something for the tires, and they said you need them.
Good
and
job.
I go, well, I'm going to wait another month, and I'm going to go. I tell them my brother works there, so I don't feel bad.
So here's my complaint.
Yeah.
Subaru has put the brake button for the brakes right next to the coffee holder, the cup holder. Somebody in my car spilled a little coffee in there, and the brake light was going on. Yeah. They replaced it. It wasn't under warranty, they said, because there was a spill in there. $380. That doesn't seem right.
That's not right.
And I saw you drinking coffee in my car like a day or two before this happened.
Yes.
Well, look, because you always go to Panera and get your sippy cup.
Did they write you an email?
They
did. We have ADD, so we're moving on.
We do.
Because that story wasn't going anywhere.
It was going nowhere.
But how many did you buy this year?
I don't know, but Richie and I belong to the Panera Bread sippy cup.
Yeah.
I go in there and they know me now. Sippity doo da sippy. And we don't get free. We pay. How much do we pay a year?
It was $130 for me, but they give you the extra month, so it's $10.
Okay, and how much did they give you? Did they give you the number of dollars?
Yeah.
Like how
they
much
told me I
saved
free.
Right.
I don't know the dollars, but 160 cups of coffee.
Because he goes in like
hot
twice
and
a day.
cold. In the summer, I get the cold cup.
Yeah.
So 160 times $3.50.
If
right?
Panera Bread now goes out of business like the other place that he said, you'll know why. Because Richie and I are going in twice a day to get free iced tea and coffee.
So 500.
Listen. You guys are driving me nuts. Do me a favor.
Yeah.
Let's calm down because you guys are crazy with the coffee. And do me a favor, John, because we haven't done this in a very long time. Explain what's behind you. The photo that's to your right. Let's talk about your shirt.
Yeah, they're ready about sippy. That's my old firehouse in
They
Queens.
want to save money.
That's
Tell them
my
about the
firehouse where I worked on 9/11. We put it behind us now because another way to remember the brothers. So thank you.
What firehouse?
By the way,
engine Squad 288 hazmat 1.
Butch, I got good news for you.
What?
You reached your tuning in
limit
quota.
already. Yeah.
Your shirt, John.
We'll see you at 7.
Yes.
All
and
right.
your shirt is nice too.
Did we do my shirt? We talked
This
about
is from
my shirt.
California Department of Forestry and Fire.
Give a shout out to the
Prevention,
brothers
protection.
out there who fight the forest fires.
Yes.
Would you be able to do that with all that heat, the fire coming at you? And they lay down with those blankets, those underneath that blanket.
I couldn't even do a stove fire.
It's tough.
Hold on, one more.
Wait a
the
minute.
picture in front of you, because we've got a lot of new viewers tonight. I just want them to know what we do.
And the picture in front of me is my old radio show that I do with my partner, Tommy Gardner, who we lost on 9/11. One of the funniest guys you're ever going to want to meet. A real chop buster, because I can't say ball buster, right?
Yeah.
A real chop buster. Tommy was the best and one of the smartest guys I ever met.
And a firefighter in your company. It wasn't just your radio partner. He's in your company.
Right. He's in my
and
company.
I want to make another shout out, a mention
Yes, please.
to a fella who
Yes.
the viewers at home, if they watch this show and start tuning in,
Right.
are going to see a lot of.
Yes.
Is Butch Seltzer, the producer of our show. He's right
Will we
there.
see him?
But thank him so much for all his
because
work he does for us. There he is.
There he is. I don't know if anybody has ever seen him
No,
before.
this is a nice show. What are you doing, Butch?
Something
So,
I've been itching
I
on my
know, we
nose.
caught it the first
We
time.
gotta bleep that. Dinner. Friday night dinner. We went
Yes.
out to dinner.
For Laughter Saves Lives.
Laughter
We had
Saves
a nice
Lives.
dinner, beautiful dinner. John treated.
We brought out all the people that are so important to Laughter Saves
Right.
Lives.
Name them.
And we brought Richie also.
I figured why not? I had nothing else.
We played pickleball before. You couldn't play pickleball because you're still on the injured list. We had fun playing a little pickleball, and then we went out. Now, run a foundation, and the foundation actually did not pay for the meal. It was my company that paid for the meal. So I'm cheap. So I think they were a little insulted. I had to wait. Just give them the children's menu.
Right.
It was like, even the sliders, right? There was 3 sliders. They could only have one each. So we split that.
There's Jonathan Morris,
yes,
our website guy.
Jonathan was invited.
Great if you need websites.
Yep.
And he is Famous Visions. It was the best burger ever.
But it was this big because you only could have one of the 3, the sliders, right? Who shared it with them? You did?
No, I had the French onion burger.
You had the French, right? And the soup.
So
somebody had
good.
the soup. It was like a little, the little cups that you have to dip in for the sushi. The little.
Hello, Ann.
Yeah. So
Rothney, right there.
he says I treated. It was a total of, for the 8 of us, it was $32. Wow. Yeah. And Johnny Tipper was out. Johnny Gratuity.
I offered to pay the tip, by the way. I just didn't say
Richie
it loud
did.
enough.
As we left the
I didn't say it
restaurant,
loud
everybody
enough.
got in the cars, and I was driving away. I heard Richie go,
I'm gonna get the tip.
I would have paid.
I'm gonna go back in and give the
I
tip.
would have paid, John. Oh, nice night. We had a lot of laughs.
I'm
My
upset.
cousin,
Where's Butch?
my
there he
cousin
is.
was there from board of directors. We had 2
He's
of the boards
watching
there.
our time. We got to move on.
All
I'm
right.
sorry.
Let's do our pickleball segment quick, Bobby, before we go to break. Let's get that out of the way. It's a short segment. You don't want to do it now? Do the Flyers. All right, do the Flyers. Do the Flyers. Oh, you want to do the pickleball?
Come on, introduce it right.
I got
got
it. I got it. Bobby wants us to do a better job of introducing the
Go.
pickleball.
Go. Just go.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is our pickleball segment. All right, so we came in. We lost the
Tell us.
championship in the B bracket. My daughter and I. New pickleball season starts Monday. As Laughter Saves Lives will be back in there. We are. I just looked this afternoon. We are rated 7th out of the 20 teams in the league. Here we go. We're going for that B bracket championship again.
Amazing.
Quick pickleball segment. Oh, we're gonna have a fundraiser back there. It's gonna be 2 hours of pickleball, an hour and a half comedy show. It's gonna be great. All right, let's go to break, and we'll be back with our private wildlife rescuer and rehabber, Karen Lynn Straka. I said her name right.
You're the best.
That's a first.
Okay, good. That's good.
If you spent time downtown on 9/11 or in the 8 months after, you were exposed to toxic air and may be eligible for compensation from the $10 billion 9/11 Victim Fund. But most people who qualify still haven't claimed what they're entitled to.
I worked downtown. I didn't die. I was an office worker. I felt like there were others who deserved the money more than I did.
A major reason people haven't claimed the money they're due is guilt. They feel guilty claiming funds when others died or were first responders.
I heard there were 9/11 funds, but because I wasn't a first responder, I did not apply.
You do not have to be a first responder to qualify. This fund was created for everyone who worked, lived, or attended school south of Canal Street, who may have experienced or have experienced respiratory illness or any of the 68 cancers linked to the toxins. Even if you have a family history of cancer, there is a presumption linking most cancers to the toxins.
I thought it was too late to make a claim. My spouse worked downtown at a bank and died of cancer. Honestly, I just haven't felt up to it.
The government's $10 billion Victim Fund and Health Program have been permanently extended. You just need to have been below Canal Street on 9/11 or at any time in the following 8 months. To see if you qualify, call or go to 911fund.com to speak to a representative of Barasch and McGarry, lawyers for the 9/11 community.
There are many reasons people who are eligible for compensation are not stepping up to claim it. To those who are holding back, I would say just take the first step. Ask for help. Make the call. It's not too late.
I called and I qualified.
I qualify.
I qualify.
Millions of dollars remain unclaimed. You do not have to be seriously ill to qualify.
And we're back.
We are back, and we're very excited because this is the first time we had live animals on the show.
Look at
We're
this.
back with Karen Lynn Stracker. She is a private wildlife rescuer and rehabber, and I met Karen a few weeks ago. We never met face to face. I had a what was it? A raccoon that looked ill wandering in front of my house.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I called her, and she came over later on. I was gone already, but she does this out of her own pocket, a volunteer. You know, she came over because she loves animals, and my kids just love animals. So I said, would you want to come on the show? And she said yes. And here we are with a little squirrel, right?
Named Juliet.
This is Juliet.
Oh, I did not know that.
Tell us about Juliet.
Yeah, what happened with Juliet?
Juliet was found in Merrick on City Place. She had been hit by a car when she was about 10 weeks old.
Right.
And she was unconscious in the street. Her mom was with her and trying to pick her up.
Right.
And somebody saw and called me. And I went. I felt terrible taking her away from her mom, but she had a traumatic brain injury and some other injuries. She lost a finger and a toe, and she was all cut up. So that's why her fur still looks a little bit rough.
Now, she can never survive in the wildlife, as far as you know.
Right now, I'm considering her unreleasable, but my goal is to always get animals back out to the wild.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that she would be able to go. She did get her vision back, and she's starting to climb a little bit.
Nice.
Well, you are very interesting because you told me before. What did you do before you started doing this? Or maybe towards the end. I don't know if you were doing it then. But you're one of our heroes also, my
I was
dear.
a New York City paramedic from 1990 through 97.
And back then, paramedic, I mean, still, that's a lot of study.
Yeah.
You don't get on the job as a paramedic. You have to study
Become
to
an
be.
EMT, and then I became what they call a critical care. And then I went to paramedic school right after college.
So the city did not give you the training?
No. I got it on my own.
You got it on your own, because I worked with a guy who worked out of St. Vinny's down there, and he got it while he was working. So wow, very commendable that you did that. So now, how did you get into wildlife? I mean, I guess you always loved animals.
I've always loved animals.
Right.
And when I was 17, I found an injured seagull sitting in the middle of Merrick Road in Belmore.
A what?
A seagull.
A seagull.
A seagull.
Wow. Okay.
And I picked it up, and I had no clue what to do with it. And I just ran into the closest vet I could find, told him he had to help me.
Right.
And he did. And so between he and I, we rehabbed the seagull, and I've pretty much been doing it ever since. Not at the volume that I'm doing it now.
Right.
Because now it's 24/7. And
Right. You must be getting calls from every animal in the neighborhood.
Take into my house. Last year, I took about 460 animals.
Oh, my goodness. What was the problem with John's raccoon? Was it?
Well, good. I'm glad you brought that up, because this is an issue I wanted her to discuss.
John's raccoon has distemper. and it's a viral illness. Symptoms are very close to the symptoms of rabies.
Right.
And unfortunately, it's a fatal illness.
Right.
And from the onset of symptoms to the time that they would pass is 22 days. So they suffer a very long time.
Right.
But during that time, they can also be spreading the virus
Right.
to other animals.
Right.
And any canid or any creature in the dog family or the mustelid family, which is raccoons and skunks, weasels, minks, they are very susceptible to it.
Gotcha.
And it is one of the easiest viruses to spread. It's highly contagious. It is shed in every bodily fluid. So the way it's spread in suburbia, really all over the country, is when people feed feral cats and leave the bowls out.
Oh.
So did you
But
hear
why
what she
would they
said?
get the disease from? They're getting it from the
They're
food?
not getting it from the cats. It is endemic in the raccoon population now.
Yeah.
And so they're spreading it raccoon to raccoon.
From the food bowl.
But they're all licking the same food bowl.
Right.
Because of habitat destruction,
Yeah.
they are looking for places to eat. Their food sources are
Right.
highly decreased, and they are
Yes.
living in closer quarters. Oh, Juliet, you're throwing
She's
your food.
spraying me
she-
with
the
her
sweet
food.
potato.
She's so.
very cute. Very cute.
I want to pet her, but I'm so afraid.
Oh,
I
she's
wouldn't not
actually.
when she's eating.
Should
No.
we bring
Let's see.
another put Juliet back in
Keep
and get
eating,
somebody
Juliet.
else?
Juliet could probably stay.
All right.
Well, we could catch her. I
She's
think.
very.
All right, we have
We have
another
the life
guest.
back.
Look
We
at-
have the
look at
life
this,
back,
what we
too,
have coming
in
up.
case we need
This
to.
is cool.
Now
Yes.
this is pretty cool. We have two. What kind of
No, no,
turtles
go
are these?
back, go back, go back.
These are eastern box turtles.
No, no, why is she
Uh-huh.
swatting my finger? No, no, sit down. Sit. I don't even know how to talk to a squirrel.
What's a box turtle?
Oh, could she
they-
walk around the table?
Sure.
Okay, good. Hi, baby. Why does she want my hand?
She wants,
Oh,
she
they
wants
want
to-
the wire. Jules,
Oh.
come here.
Yeah. So the box turtles. What
The
makes them
box
special?
turtles
Different.
are called box turtles because
Yeah.
they have the ability to close up. And now I don't know if these
Ah.
guys are going to close
Don't
up
all
for me.
turtles close up?
No,
No?
they don't.
Like go inside completely in the shell?
Yes.
No, I
Let
thought
me
all
just.
turtles
I'm going
did
to
that.
put one of them back for a minute
All right.
so I can see if he will close up for me.
Is there a button to press?
No,
Mm.
these are surrendered pets.
Mhm.
They're
Right.
not legal to own,
Right.
Right.
and so
but because you're a licensed.
I'm a licensed rehabber, they were surrendered to me, and they're pretty friendly with people because they were pets.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Now
what
They
is
don't close up too
Go ahead,
often.
go ahead,
This orange, they weren't into cheese doodles. That's natural.
This is natural. This is
Yeah.
a male, and the males have orange eyes and
Oh, wow.
orange coloring on their bodies.
Yeah.
They also have a concave shell, and that's how you tell
How
a male.
interesting is that?
And the females,
Now, what land are they native to?
these are native to right here.
Right here on Long Island?
Yes,
Massapequa?
they're all over the
Right by
Massapequa
the train
Preserve.
station. Can we bring the other one out? just
Sure.
So we don't run out of time because you brought all
Absolutely.
three. So what made you? So what do you want to do ultimately with your
I would
hobby here?
love to open up a wildlife rehab center.
That would be nice.
That would be very.
We
cool.
have no services for wildlife
Look
on
what we
Nassau
have
County.
here.
No, and that would be like you came to rescue
Oh,
that.
The possum found his apple. Can
Yeah,
he
you
have
came
that?
to
Yes,
rescue
yes.
that
Yeah.
raccoon that day, and like the cop said when he came, he says there's really nobody who will come take these away.
Correct.
You know, so that's what you want to do.
I want to have services where there is one local phone number that anybody who needs assistance with wildlife can call.
Right.
They don't
How
have
come
to.
the county doesn't have that?
Unfortunately, there are
surprised.
no services provided
What?
by the government.
So who do they call? The pound? What do they do?
They
Well, I'll tell you what I did.
I know what you did.
Oh, okay.
But how did you do it?
I called 911 to ask them because there's the school right there. I was worried about the raccoon maybe biting a kid, you know, when they came out of school. And they really didn't. They sent the police officer, and he said, really, there's not much they can do.
correct.
And then once you trap it, it's your responsibility, right?
Correct.
So if it's sick or whatever, you got to pay.
Yep.
What
and it
about
could be
like
hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
What about like the ASPCA or any of them? They don't care.
ASPCA is really domestic animals,
Oh.
and so
that's
is
right.
animal control in the town of Hempstead. And
Yeah, animal control.
yeah, they do not
Deal with
deal
wildlife.
with wildlife.
How strange.
So,
well, listen, maybe you'll be the one to lead this department.
I would love to do that. I mean,
oh, she's perfect for it.
I started a corporation, and I'm in the process of turning it into a 501c3.
Good.
And hopefully,
well, we already discussed. Richie and I would like to do a fundraiser.
I would love that.
Yeah,
that would be amazing.
Wildlife, that would be fun.
Yeah, raise some money. You have some of the animals there. People love that, and we'll do that. Is there anything else you want? One last pointer, something you want to give the average Joe out there about if you find an animal,
if you find wildlife,
what not to do
that's injured or sick, don't touch it.
Okay.
The best thing you could do, if you have a laundry basket or a box, just throw it over it and find a wildlife rehabber, because we are trained in how to catch and how to handle these animals. A lot of us are vaccinated for rabies, so that when and we have vet access,
right?
So we can get the animals the care that they need.
Vet access is important. Carolyn,
yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was so much
cool.
fun. I just want to hug all them, and I can't.
We'll hug them.
So afraid.
We're going to go to break, and we'll bring back Lou Pimber.
All right.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Arthur Lee, founder, CEO, and inventor of LifeVac, a simple rescue device that could save a child's life in a choking emergency. All these people were saved with LifeVac. People may not realize that on average, 14 people a day die from choking-related incidents. Every 5 days, one of those is a child.
As simple as place, push, pull.
To learn more, please visit lifevac.net.
We got to move over a little.
And we're back.
We're back. That was pretty cool.
I just wanted to say, Karen,
yes,
our wildlife,
yes, Carolyn,
young lady, Karen
Lynn,
right, is on TikTok. You can find her at, what's the address?
Wildlife Rehab _KL.
Okay, Wildlife Rehab _KL.
So now, Rich,
on TikTok,
we're going to bring out. I don't want to say our hero segment because we just had a hero on. But he's a former U.S. soldier, combat medic, and it goes on and on and on. It's so impressive. Let's bring up Lou Pimber.
There he is,
Big Lou.
What's happening?
Lou, I have to start off by saying you look like a star.
Really?
I don't look like a star.
He
looks
like
a
that
star.
guy's look at him.
Thank you.
Yeah, very, very nice.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks.
Very handsome. So,
Lou. My wife is gonna just. Like she's like sitting across from me right now. She's just like, oh my God.
Oh, she's like, don't tell him that. Don't tell him that.
How lucky is she with that hunk, right?
Wow.
She is lucky.
Yeah.
Let's start with your service. U.S. soldier. Tell us a little bit about that. How long did you serve?
Yeah, I served from '88 to right around '94, and I was a combat medic, and then from there, thank you. And then from there, I became a law enforcement officer.
Okay.
And, my uncle had served in the military, I remember when I was a kid, and I always admired him for doing that. And then, I'm originally from Mexico, so I came here as a kid, learning English. And so I was like, I want to be a soldier like my tío, and eventually was a law enforcement officer and spent several years in law enforcement. That's where I retired from.
Okay.
And I'll tell you this, last time I had a conversation with some firemen like you guys, I was being scraped off the asphalt and being put into the back of an ambulance. So it's always good to see you guys. It's always good to see you guys.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Tell us what happened.
No.
I spend most of my time working undercover assignments, and you do that long enough and you get hurt and stuff happens. And I got hurt pretty bad on the job. Right. And I write about it in my book. It's called Breaking Badly. And I had to finally write my story there because the truth is I got hurt pretty bad and I was hurt by cops, believe it or not.
Oh.
Right? It was sadly it was intentional. That's just the way it went down, and I subsequently had to retire from that. It was a very dangerous undercover drug deal, a lot of cocaine, a lot of money, a lot of bad guys, and I've been doing that for years.
Lou, I wanted to ask you about that because we watch all these TV shows. They go in undercover, and they make it not always, but a little glamorous or whatever. My God, that has got to be the most stressful thing. How did you keep your composure in those when you're the only good guy in that room and there's like 10 bad guys?
Yeah. It's the very first time I did something like that, as in an undercover capacity as a cop, I remember I couldn't contain the butterflies in my stomach.
Right. Your heart must
be
be pounding through your shirt.
Yeah, I was so scared, right? And it was a simple crack cocaine deal, right? And then eventually, as you mature into the business, you start thinking that, well, there's other things going on, because there's a lot of pieces to these undercover operations, from air units to ground units to your undercover and surveillance and cover teams and a partner and stuff like that. So it becomes a bit more complex, but the nervous energy never goes away, because you can't control what the other guy's doing. You can't control what the bad guy's going to do, and you train for it, but you can't really control much of it. You can only control what you do, but it is very dangerous. A good friend of mine, may he rest in peace now, Vince Cephalou, undercover agent, he says, just remember, just because a gun is pulled out on a drug doesn't mean they're going to use it. But it doesn't feel very good when that happens.
No, I wouldn't want to see. No way.
But it is. Television makes it look very, very cool and glamorous, but it's a ugly, dirty business.
Oh, I can imagine. Now, there's always talk about, was there a time where you were undercover, like where you didn't go home for days, weeks on end?
There was times where I would spend a lot of time away from home. Yes. A lot of time was spent away from home, and it was tough.
Mentally, you're living with these people, or you're hanging with these people a lot, and I guess there's almost like a little bit of you're one of them, right? It's because you have to play that part.
In my book, I talk about it. We call it street theater. You become this character that you're playing in the street, and you're orchestrating these scenes. You get one shot to get that one take and cut. We've got it. Put it in the can. Let's go. Let's shoot it. And you can only live so many I almost got killed moments.
Yeah.
And without some of it rubbing off on you. So yes, some of that does come home with you. You become at a point in time, I became very hypervigilant, very concerning, because even at times when I'd be maybe coaching my son's little league team, my cop phone would be ringing because Chewy wants his 10 keys of cocaine.
Right.
And it's so hard to tell a guy to go fly a kite, right?
Right.
Because they're busy.
Right.
And so
Now
they're always there.
Yeah. Was there ever a time where anybody started to feel a little uneasy around you, or
were you ever made, so to speak? Or
no,
I was never made 100%.
Not made in the gang. I mean, that they tipped off that you could be.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. And so there were times when the other person would just have some doubts.
Right.
And it's because in both those times it was my fault, because my partner and I, we walked up to the house, and we walked up like cops.
Right.
And bad guys are bad guys 24/7, 7 days a week.
That's right.
Probably since the age of 11, right?
Yeah.
And they're watching, and we made that mistake, right? And it became a little confrontation at the door there. We're just like, what are you talking about? That type of push back and forth type of situation. And in the end, we came out okay. They ended up in prison later on, but we learned later that what they had observed was it was just the way we walked up, and how we walked up and how we kind of separated. The average person looks at it, it's like we could be Jehovah's Witnesses walking up to your door, right? They do the same thing. But in his mind, he saw cops. And in that day, he was right.
Yeah.
So other times, situation where, I'm inside of a house. All of a sudden I realize all 3 deadbolts were locked. I didn't see that. Guy comes out with a gun in the hallway, and he says, "You're not leaving." I said, "What happened?" Nothing happened. No drugs, no money, nothing happened. And all of a sudden you're not going to go.
Yeah.
You got the gun pointed at me. I got the other guy right in front of me. And you have to figure out, you have to talk your way out, because, John Wick is in the movies. You know what I'm saying? And so we get one shot, right? And we don't wear the bulletproof suits, right?
Yeah.
And so your best weapon, what I learned, is your brain. What's up here?
Well, God bless you, because I could never do that. That's bad. That's badass stuff, right? You are, and thank God you're still here with us. And you've moved on. You did some acting, and you're doing some
Did
stuff
some
now.
acting. You maybe the biggest show of all time.
Yeah, he's doing some acting, right?
Yeah, some acting. Yeah, there's a lot of acting and undercover work, right? So when I got hurt, I went to this point in my life where, and I'm sure you guys have experienced this yourself. You leave the fire department. You leave that. You leave that adrenaline when you hear the siren go off and the bells go off and everybody goes. I left that lifestyle of OMG moments. I almost got killed moments. This is so dangerous moments. Let's go back and do it again moments, right? That goes away all of a sudden because I got hurt on the job, and all of a sudden you're missing it. And so I went through a bunch of issues. On top of that, I had some pretty serious brain injuries, traumatic brain injury, other problems that came associated with that, all sorts of issues that erupted from it. And but in the process, I picked up books, man. I started reinventing my life. I started teaching myself, and I started having to rethink differently and think like using my mind to see versus just my eyes, and having to practice, vision, right? Seeing the bigger picture. I became a business owner and eventually landed on a TV show called Breaking Bad. But before that, I had shot a short video, a movie that won at a bunch of festivals. It's called Duress, Duress. Yeah. It's on Facebook, man, and the agents loved it.
Facebook or YouTube?
Both. Yeah, YouTube. You can find it on YouTube, on my YouTube channel. Duress, yes, sir. And I'll tell you this, man. I'm gonna pop my own collar, but it's probably the most realistic undercover situation you'll see in movies. All
right.
And what did you play? What episode were you in Breaking Bad? What was the scene?
Yeah, I was in season 4, episode 6 and 7, part of the cartel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great
so
show.
Funny. Don't ever be insulted by what I'm going to say.
No, go ahead.
That means you're going to be
I'd
insulted.
like to say it was me, but I did watch half of season 1 because I get nervous.
Yeah.
And Breaking Bad is a very nerve-wracking show.
It is.
But my son, die hard. He's 18 now.
Yeah.
All through 17, die hard Breaking Bad fan. I mean, die hard. When I told him today who was on the show, he immediately knew. He told me who you were on the show.
Really?
And, yeah.
Wow.
And he was like, "That is so cool." I know he's watching. He's got to be watching.
That's great, man.
But
awesome.
it's amazing how you are known and you have fans out there. And he said he was cartel, but he was really good at it.
That's awesome. Let me tell you something, man. I'm a big believer in we create our own luck. And through unfortunate circumstances, I had to retire, but I had to force myself to relearn a lot of things and think differently and act differently, and just had to reinvent my life post those injuries. And preparation met timing. I'm meeting these folks one day, and they say, "Hey, there's a guy filming out here in Arizona." I live in Texas now, but I was in Arizona at the time. He's filming. He needs a guy who can help his actors. I said, "What does he need?" He goes, "Well, they need to learn how to do weapons and police stuff." I'm like, "Why? I know those things."
Right.
She goes, "Were you in the military?" I said, "Yeah." "You're a cop?" I go, "Yeah." "Habla español?" "I speak Spanish." He goes, "All these actors are from Mexico." I said, "I'm in." So, some people call it luck. I call it
time, yeah.
Preparation and timing, and so I leveraged that and I learned from it, and I wrote a book about it. I wrote a book, my stories as undercover narc. And the great thing about it is you can find it on Amazon, but it's not a hero book, man. A lot of times people say, I've read so many hero cop books out there.
Yeah.
It isn't like that. It isn't my best look, but it's the truth, man. It's the truth.
Right.
Because
what's the name of the book again?
It's called Breaking Badly.
Breaking Badly.
Yes, sir.
Right.
A post-traumatic success story.
So check out Breaking Badly. Get the book. Duress is the movie.
I do want to 2 things. Number 1, thank you to our buddy Eddie Molina for bringing Lou on for us.
Thanks, Eddie.
Thank you,
and number
Eddie.
2, in the 6 years that we've been on TV, I think Lou has the best camera of any guest we've ever had on, because
absolutely, you know how many people come on there? It's distorted and
beautiful.
Great,
good job.
See, star power, right there.
Thank you. It's all on the camera, bro.
Lou, I want to thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Maybe we'll have you back again because I know your story.
If you want to.
I would love to, man. By the way, I'm so glad you played the commercial before I came on because I was really wondering what the hell that was in front of you right there.
The life.
Oh, this?
Yeah.
I tell him we gotta hide that.
Yeah, well, the more we hide it, the worse it looks. So,
but I'm glad it's out there. I'm glad.
Lou, thank you so much,
Thanks,
my friend.
Lou. It was great talking to you. You're awesome.
Great guest. We're going to break and we'll be back with Coldplay 2.
The Arbors Assisted Living is the premier yet affordable, all-inclusive assisted living option with 5 communities on Long Island in Nassau and Suffolk counties. The Arbors promotes living life to the fullest by providing a wide range of activities, amenities, and events. You get all care, all services, all amenities, all included. Call 866-THE-ARBORS. That's 866-THE-ARBORS.
And we're back. Well, this show is cranking. I mean, we had 2 great guests. Yeah. And now we were lucky enough because they're touring, these guys.
All over the world.
All over the world.
Yes.
We don't even know where we are right now, but they came in for us tonight. I don't know why. Coldplay 2 is with us. That is Coldplay 2, Jamie Gravett and John Marcus Morrison. Hey, guys.
Hey, guys.
Hey, how's it going?
Thank you for having us.
Oh, of course. I see that you brought your instruments. They are behind you.
Yeah. Well, these are our practice instruments. They're not for performance. They're just there for ambiance.
We have a lot of different instruments. We have warm-up instruments. We have show performance instruments. We have bedtime instruments.
We have instruments that we actually haven't even seen, but we have purchased them.
That's very good to know.
Yeah.
Like they're well equipped.
They look nice. Looks nice.
We are.
Yes.
We're actually in Vienna right now. We just got done. The ambassador let us stay with the good word and with Her Highness, Her Majesty. We were able to stay in the palace. So they're real accommodating.
Thank you, Anne.
That's nice. So you guys play all over the world. John and I have not. We're like around Nassau County.
More like Massapequa
area.
Yeah.
But you're all over the world. Who's the best audiences? Where are the best audiences, would you say?
Well, go ahead and name. We'll have to narrow it down to a continent first. Go ahead and give us
or America.
Brooklyn?
No,
I'm not sure what continent Brooklyn. What continent is that?
I think it's South America.
Brooklyn?
South America somewhere.
So yeah, okay.
I probably a tie between the Haitians and Californians.
Yeah,
they're similar.
It's a close one.
Yeah,
very similar.
Wow, very interesting.
It's very interesting.
Any royalty that you've met?
Oh,
they said Your Highness just a minute ago.
Yeah. There's a lot that aren't really on that list anymore due to governments not really getting along. But we used to love playing for the blacklisted kings and queens, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
More underground.
Yeah, they're very underground.
One's somewhere on the run.
Kings of the streets, kings of comedy.
Mm-hmm.
Some personal appearances of the kings of comedy.
Yeah, sometimes we just perform for other performers.
Sometimes we performed for Prince.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you'd consider, obviously, rest in peace. This was before he passed.
Right.
And after he passed, actually.
Yeah, after he passed, we played for him as well.
That was a really good game.
So now you've also, it says here, you played for the Pope of Greenwich Village.
Yeah, we don't like to talk about it because there's always a new Pope, and then they're like, come out. But he was pretty boring, actually. Not very good not much of a conversationalist.
Right.
Not much of a gabber.
No.
Is there any now you play? I see one instrument behind you. That's
cello.
That's a cello or a bass. What is that?
This is a standard bass or an upright bass. Yes.
Now, if
And
you
of
laid
course,
it down, would it still be considered an upright bass?
Yeah.
yeah, you comedians are
We're
always
gonna leave it up to
skeptical.
you guys to make the jokes about stand-up basses.
Yeah, yeah. We should let you talk.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
What do you want to tell us today? What is?
Well, we are truly the world. John obviously plays the violin,
Mm-hmm.
and we are the world's first violin and bass duo act.
Yeah.
Which is something they said couldn't be done.
A lot of people said it shouldn't be done also.
They did say that.
Yeah.
They said it should. In fact, there were some people even went further that said it wouldn't be done.
Yeah. It almost wasn't too.
And yet you defied that, and
We defy the odds.
Playing all over the world.
Absolutely. We don't make excuses. We're a very serious band, and we're serious about our music.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
These are serious. These are very serious instruments, as you can see. This is real wood.
Yeah.
Very serious wood. And these are real turtlenecks too. I don't know how good your camera is.
Well, we
can see them.
Yeah.
I
These
was
are real
thinking, so when you guys play, you're a lot more. Your demeanor is more serious than it is at this time.
Now, right?
Yeah, this is just us joking around. Once we get on stage, we're pretty serious.
Yeah,
Right.
we figured we would keep this interview light and lighthearted.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
But
yeah,
we're very serious about it, and when we get up there, we obviously it's what we wear. We're serious because we're serious about the art form, and we have a lot of respect for music and the art itself, and we feel like that deserves a sort of reverence.
Mhm.
Yeah.
When we come up on the stage.
The people that came before us, Britney Spears, Mozart, them.
right. And now Coldplay too. You know what this reminds me of with the split screen,
And now Coldplay too.
and now
Yeah,
Coldplay too.
definitely.
Move over,
Move over.
Taylor Swift. Here's what I want to say. This
Never heard of her.
The split screen.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of when Batman and Robin met Kato and the Green Hornet.
Mm.
Right? Because you're kind of like got the Green Hornet or the Kato look.
Well, I love honey.
The what?
I love honey.
Honey.
Oh, that's good.
Did that have something to do with what you said?
I have
no idea. So, what kind of tunes do you guys play? Like,
Are you
is there
gonna
anything?
play for
is
us?
there
Are you
anything
gonna-
that I would
You're gonna
know?
play for us. Yeah.
Do you play Taylor Swift music?
We can play actually anything. We can play anything.
Well, look what I found.
Yeah.
I want to say that you guys, you should really bill yourself as wonderfully enchanting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right?
That's
I'm gonna write that down for our bio.
wonderful. Thank you. We've been called a lot of
Wonderful, yeah.
things. We've been called a lot of things. The
Yeah.
best thing to happen since peanut butter and jelly in the same jar.
Mhm.
Majestic, even angelic.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's really because of the world-class musician. This has taken us years and years to perfect this craft, and John is a world-class violinist, and he can play literally any song.
Yeah, go ahead
any
and
song.
name a Taylor
I'm going to
Swift song.
try. I'm going to try to write down what we call them when
Wait,
you guys
they're-
go off the air, because we're going to have some terms that we're probably going to call you after they're done.
leading us in here.
Yes, I
with
see
the
that.
question.
Yeah.
Tennessee Waltz.
Nice.
Yeah, Tennessee Waltz.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Perfect.
Who's that by?
Joe.
It's various artists
Have
played
played
it.
I just want to make sure that I'm playing the right version.
Do the Taylor Swift version.
Do this.
I like that.
I don't think she has a version.
Wow.
See,
Incredible.
that's only a taste of what
I hear
we're
it.
going to be.
1%.
Well, that's
of it.
1% of that.
Yeah, you don't want to give up too much. You want people to come out to see you live.
Right. And
Sure, well,
just
exactly,
by that
and-
alone, you could tell the professionalism.
And again, we don't have, we have respect for the song and the music and the time. And frankly, we just don't have the time to really get into the full song. But that's again, you can tell by that 1% of it how
Yeah.
perfect it was.
That was more like
have you back
1.2%, but yeah.
I'd like to.
Exactly.
Can I hear anything? Should I
Yep.
on the bass? Do you? Is that too difficult?
Well, unfortunately, I could, but it's just.
This
and
is
again,
the practice base.
I don't make excuses. I don't make excuses, but it's not tuned.
I got you.
Right.
But
Tell
you
you
can
the
tell
truth, I don't
it
think
is-
the violin sounded tuned either.
Well,
This is. I keep this one out of tune.
Oh, just
This is
his
the
out
out
of
of tune violin.
that's his out of tune violin. He doesn't have his.
I don't ever
violin.
tune that one. Because if I can play with that one, then I can play anything.
So all right, all right. So it was a last minute thing that you guys were on a show where you would have had tuned instruments.
Prepared.
We appreciate
Yeah,
you.
we're really happy for you guys that you were able to have us.
Yeah, this is really a good time for you guys to be able to bring us on.
Mm-hmm.
Now you play all over the world.
Right.
Where are you based out of?
Our jet, probably.
Yeah, really based out of the jet.
Moving. Yeah.
It's really difficult. We had to actually figure out some sort of way to have a municipal legally recognize the jet as a residence in order to get mail. We have to deal with carrier pigeons. As you could imagine, it's extremely difficult, but
it's actually a lot longer of a process than you'd think if you ever had to deal with international airspaces and different countries and
right.
Yeah, of course, carrier pigeons.
You watched the whole show? Did you see the wonderful wildlife rescue we had on?
Yes, that was incredible. In fact, John's been called a squirrel many times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is.
I know how that feels.
Do you have a question for them?
Yeah.
Do you have a question about?
Are you guys asking the fire truck?
You're talking off camera.
I know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I find that my animals do respond to music. Do you have a favorite song to play when you are playing for an animal?
Animals. Have you ever done anything for animals to calm them down?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. We used to play during our African tour. Actually, the African tour we just got off of was strictly for animals.
Yeah,
in the
mostly
in the savannah and the wilderness.
Just animals.
How beautiful is that?
Which is bad because I'm prone to seizures. So
you know what I love? You guys
we're still able to finish.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
About 3.5 hours.
Wow. Wow.
Sorry.
Now, how did that work out with who paid? I mean, did you allow humans into those concerts or just?
Absolutely not.
No, not at all. It was actually more of a protest on music confound and digitally. It was a protest to that. So we played for nature. I was almost severely, I actually almost got my leg torn off by a rhinoceros, but to be frank, we were using our out of tune instruments.
Yeah, we wanted to challenge ourselves. Maybe that wasn't the best idea, doing our first zebra concert, but you should always be pushing yourself as a band.
I think you guys know what you're doing. You've been all around the world, so who are we to argue, or question what you're doing?
Exactly.
So we're just excited. We're just excited to have you on. So is there a place where the average Joe can get into a concert if they're not an animal and they're not in Africa to see you guys?
Well, we are actually opening up to more humans, especially in North America, because it's typically the wildlife here is in zoos. So we are opening up some shows to the public. We'll be in Austin this Friday at Mr. Nice Guys.
Mr. Nice
and actually
Guys.
we'll be at the we're headlining the Addison Improv Sunday, this coming Sunday, January 7th. So that'll be a really great show. We're doing our full 45-minute performance. It's going to be a symphonic masterpiece and a giant waste of time. We're really excited.
Yeah, we like that. You know what? You don't know.
Songs in that concert? How many songs will you totally play in that whole hour and a half in that concert?
We usually don't like to talk about our set list before it happens, but because we have I don't know how many songs we played over the year.
Endless.
Thousands, hundreds of thousands. Right. So it's really, we might merge genres, and I don't want to give anything away. So if you're a real Coldplay 2 fan, you'll know, you'll be ready.
Well, I will say when John played that violin, Hassam here,
he took a dump.
Yeah,
he loved it.
That's happened before.
He took a dump in there when he heard that.
Well, listen,
that's good. That's good. That means he's regular, and that's what music is magic. Like
it transcends species.
I have to go.
I gotta say,
I have to go myself.
I am in wrapping up here.
Yes,
I am already a huge fan of Coldplay too.
So am I.
I can't wait to see you guys. I almost want to travel down to Austin just to see you.
I almost want to become an animal. Get in sooner.
Right.
Sure. Of
yeah,
course.
we've gotten that response before.
Guys,
it's understandable.
Thank you so much for coming on and bringing some life and some excitement to a boring show.
Of course, we want to give a quick shout out. Rest in peace to one of the Smothers brothers.
Yeah, we're not sure which one yet, but
we can't remember which one.
Yeah,
but one of there was an old one.
Yeah,
he
was a
passed
legend.
away.
Yes.
Very moving. Very moving. Very nice.
Do you want to tell us anywhere? Do you have anything you want to share with your plug? Where you
Please, go to our website or on Instagram. Both are Coldplay2band.com or at Coldplay2band.
Coldplay2
band.
Thank you, guys.
Band.
I can't thank you guys enough for fitting us in your busy schedule. Good luck with the tour. Fantastic. Coldplay2. Wow. How'd we get them? Those guys are just a bundle of energy.
And you know what it is? We almost look so inferior.
Yeah, when you have somebody like that on.
When you have that level, we are.
We will be back next week. We have some really cool guests lined up. I don't know who they are now. Maybe Coldplay 3 might be there. Let's thank Karen Lynn, who's still in the back here. Let's thank Lou Pimber for coming on, and Coldplay 2, and Butch for throwing the show together.
Great job.
We are going to the Massapequa Diner. Good night, everybody.
Good.
Old leather gloves, we're slapping in hands. Popcorn and peanuts, we're working the stands. Pink cotton candy, love on a stick. Was chasing the beer that circled the lips. Play ball, play ball. Roll up the bases and smack it right over the wall.